It has begun, Arya said with a sorrowful expression. Book 1, Eragon, Chapter 58, Battle Under Farthen Dur, and Chapter 59, The Mourning Sage. Welcome to Eragon and Back Again, a podcast where we explore Christopher Paolini's inheritance cycle chapter by chapter. I'm Lucy Hart.
And I'm Darien Smartt.
And I love this chapter.
And
these
this
chapters.
Oh wow! We've done it.
We've done it.
We
did
it. Wow!
We've done it. Holy crap! We've got through the book.
Cool.
It took us a little over a year.
Yeah,
but we got there.
I think first episode came out. Let me see. The trailer dropped May 11th, 2023. The first episode proper was June 7th.
There we go. Yep.
So look at that.
Very
wow. Good for us.
Yep. And I actually think I came up with a spark of inspiration.
All right, Lucy, share it.
It's finishing this book.
Hey, Lucy, that's so funny. Mine's doing this podcast with
I know.
you.
I was like both the podcast and finishing the book and being able to read it with you. And because I think like I'm so excited for the next books and everything, and it's just it makes me very, very happy. So I'm very excited.
Me too.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have a lot more to say on that. Just I loved doing this with
Yes,
you. I loved having this time to look forward to.
Yes.
And getting to have these really
in
depth, thank you. Deep felt like a weird word to use for this, but these very much was my in tarot, one of my favorite cards is the Three of Cups.
Yeah.
And the Three of Cups kind of represents the positive energy you get from socialization. It's like that classic concept of the salon. It's where you used to go and like discuss topics and ideas with like folks who just like vibed and like were on your like that like fellow intellectual level of like you all had the same interests and wanted to discuss them. And so that is what this podcast has been for me to enjoy with you. And I'm so happy we have this together.
Yes, I'm excited because it's like I was like I still want to hang out with Darien, and this is like a really good chance to do that. And then even outside, like hanging out just regularly, and then also with like the Patreon episodes and everything is always very good. I've very much enjoyed that we were able to do this together.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So let's not keep the listeners waiting. Let's get right into it.
Yes, let's do this.
Battle under Farthen Dur. The Urgals begin their siege. Although the Varden and Dwarven forces fight valiantly, they are overwhelmed by sheer numbers. The twins summon Eragon to Tranchim to keep Urgals from digging into the city, and Saphira's armor is damaged on the way. Arya stays with Saphira to remove her armor while Eragon goes on ahead. The twins are nowhere to be found when the Urgals break into the city, the Shade at their lead. As Eragon and Durja clash, flashes of the Shade's tragic backstory play through Eragon's mind. Despite Eragon's skill, he's still no match for the Shade. All seems hopeless when suddenly, overhead the Star Sapphire erupts as Arya and Saphira burst in. Their attack takes the Shade's attention, and, seeing Durza about to attack Saphira, Eragon finds a second wind, summoning a spell to engulf his sword in flames and drive it through the Shade's heart.
Yep. Did you want to also do...
I think usually we do, but I think this one has such a clear cut that I'll go ahead and wait, and we'll just focus on this, and then
Sounds good.
So... the battle begins.
The battle begins. And I do like
great at writing fight scenes.
Oh yeah.
So
like they're
good.
so and I honestly
exactly
think
where everyone
and
is.
I think like that's I think my fight like the way I write fight and battle scenes I think is heavily influenced by Paolini.
Yeah.
Because they're so easy to read and to follow, and I just really like how he does them. I also very much like the fact that when Arya says it has begun, it's not like, oh, we're fighting, we're in the middle of fighting now.
No, but
there's still a little bit of a wait, that tension building even more before it finally, boom.
Yeah, the Urgals are coming.
Yes. The Urgals are coming. I'm sorry.
Yeah. They're waiting, and then harsh Urgal shouts shattered the air as dark shapes boiled upwards for the tunnel's opening. At a command, the cauldrons of pitch were tilted on their sides, pouring scalding liquid into the tunnel's hungry throat. Great.
Oh my
hungry
God.
throat.
Like,
wow.
Yeah, and like boiled upward is also just such a great way to describe that, I think.
Oh, yeah. And then the monsters howled in pain, arms flailing. A torch was thrown into the bubbling pitch, and an orange pillar of greasy flames roared up in the opening, engulfing the Urgals into their inferno. And then sickened, Eragon looked across Farthen Dur at the 2 other battalions and saw similar fires by each.
Yep.
So, like, as we talked in the previous episode, in the previous chapter, about, like, Eragon being like, that's a horrible way to die.
Yep.
And seeing that again. But that still doesn't stop us from calling the Urgals monsters.
Monsters, again.
Not like the Urgals, the soldiers, the enemy, like anything else. They are still
monsters.
Yep. And so then more come through. That's when the battalion of archers fire off and, like, take down the next line. But their numbers, I love this line, like, Eragon was dismayed by their numbers. They were supposed to kill every single one.
Yeah.
It's like, yep.
Yeah, it's like, and if you don't, you die.
You die.
That's how that works.
Has to be.
Yep. And especially with just, like, the way that Urgals have been presented, it's like, nope, they will keep coming at you.
Yep. And that's what happens. So we get a lot of, like, the constant battle, but, like, kind of the motif or the moments of what it is. Like, Saphira fighting them and Eragon being beside her and then getting separated from Saphira and then him fighting...
Or him on Saphira. And then he kills an Urgal. The sword gets wrenched out of his hand. He dives off, getting separated. Murtag's there, which is great. Murtag coming in clutch.
Coming in clutch.
He saves Eragon again.
He sees Arya fighting at one point in time. And we see him using a combination of, like, this. He's using Zarak and, like, the bow and stuff, but he also used magic at some point in time. But not
all three.
Like, he uses, like, the first time we see him use magic is when a Cull is about to get him, and he's able to use magic to, like, snap the enemy's neck.
Yep.
And then, like, so Eragon is using, like, everything at his disposal, but he's not, like, relying on magic. He is.
Yep. Because and that's, like, growth, because he understands, like, he's like, I need to save my energy. It's like, yes, you do. And that's also good, because this is his first time in a battle that threatens to be long lasting.
Yeah.
And so he's being very smart. And I also think, like, that comes from Ajahad's warning as well. Just be like, or even Frederick being like, hey, like, you haven't been in a battle that lasts more than
you don't know what this is gonna look like.
Yeah, exactly.
I love this other where is it? I want to find this moment, because it's a lot of, like, just constant, and it feels chaotic and overwhelming, but in a way where I can picture exactly what's going on. I don't have, like, I don't have a problem with, like, understanding the movement or anything else. It's like I said, the very strong dynamic writing for this fight. We get for a bit when Ajahad, so he's like, we're getting orders back and forth from Ajahad and the twins.
Yes.
Eragon notes that it's, like, weird that the Urgals are, like, following orders from someone, but he can't tell who
it is. Yes.
So he tells the twins that. And then they're like, oh, hey, you need to go help Hrothgar because the fight's not going well for him. So we get to see the Dwarven King fighting.
Yes,
and that's
we do.
really fucking cool.
It's so cool.
Like, I love the way it's described as just being like...
I love that he's in golden armor.
Of course he is.
And
he's the Dwarven King.
I'm like, dude, that's so stupid. They know, like...
It's not real gold.
I'm like...
It's... The armor, it's gold.
Oh, yeah, it's gold plated. It's
plated
gold,
armor.
like, filigree, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, you're standing out like a sore thumb. They're gonna go for you first, my dude.
Like, he wants them to.
That's also very fair.
They should.
That's also
he
very
should be
fair.
the first target. Yeah, and it's like
he wants to be.
I love. He's got this war hammer.
Yeah, Volund.
Yeah. Every time Volund struck, it sounded the gong of death for another enemy.
Yep. How fucking cool is that? That's so fucking cool.
After a spear downed one of his warriors, Hrothgar grabbed the spear himself and, with astonishing strength, hurled it completely through its owner 20 yards away.
We love Hrothgar.
Yeah.
We love Hrothgar.
It's great.
And this dude is, like, ancient
by men and dwarves.
Yeah, he's old as hell, and he's fucking killing it, literally.
Such heroism emboldened Eragon to even greater risks, seeking to hold his own against the mighty king.
And what was Ajahad's one fucking
advice.
thing? One advice.
And so he, like, goes against a call, but this one doesn't work. It's a little too far away.
Yep.
Eragon gets thrown backwards.
He almost falls out of Saphira's saddle.
Yep.
And this is great.
He's like, he couldn't pull himself upright. The Cull had already prepared another blow. As the Cull's arm descended, a slim steel blade suddenly sprouted from his chest. Howling, the monster toppled to his side. In his place stood Angela.
Angela!
There she is!
There she is! Let's go! Angela, I fucking love her.
Love
her. Her whole outfit.
Do you want it, Lucy?
Yes.
Please?
The witch wore a long red cape over outlandish flanged armor enameled black and green. She bore a strange two-handed weapon, a long wooden shaft with a sword blade attached to each end. Angela winked at Eragon mischievously, then dashed away, spinning her staff sword like a darvish. Close behind her was Solumbum, in the form of a young shaggy-haired boy. He held a small black dagger, sharp teeth bared in a feral snarl. I love them so much. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
In my enthusiasm, I bunked them. I love them so much.
They're
so good.
And I love
and
them.
I just love how she's like in the middle of this fight and she just killed like an Urgal and she's like,
There they are.
hi, and then runs off. She's great. Of course she wouldn't stay out of the battle.
No,
Absolutely
that's why she knew
not.
stuff was coming. That's why she came out in the first place. And I love that this is how we know she's on the battle. She just saved Eragon's life.
Yes. And I also like it again, like because like we've kind of griped about like all the women running away. Angela, no way.
No, of
like,
course, but
oh yeah.
Then the thing about we have like culturally,
yeah,
like what Arya mentions in the previous chapter is that the elves train their men and women to fight.
Absolutely.
None of the women who are in the Varden, none of them are trained to fight.
Yes.
Like they are not prepared for this battle. Like
yes.
I don't, and that is. We'll do like, oh, historical accuracy. And it's like, yes, that is historically accurate for this like Middle Ages inspired human race. So I like that. While that is accurate, it doesn't mean like Arya makes a point to point out that is not what the elves do.
Yes.
And Angela is here and she is a human woman. And yes, she is also a witch, but like she is clearly competent. That element of the women and the children and the elderly are sent away. I will give Paulini credit that is not meant to reflect an idea of what women are capable of. Like when Naswada left, we had a whole conversation about she clearly left because she needed to lead them.
Yes, absolutely.
And it was not just, oh, you're too precious. You can't handle this fight. You probably, So it's like that is not meant to indicate an idea of what women are capable of.
Yep.
It is a communicating a cultural idea of, and we don't even know it in terms of the dwarves.
Yeah.
Like, what's gender doing? What's gender roles here? Are there lady dwarves fighting and we just don't know? Like, we have no idea. I would hope so. Shout out to Terry Pratchett's Discworld.
There you go.
The dwarves there slap. The way Terry Pratchett does gender with dwarves and the elements that he saw, this should have been in my Spark of Inspiration last episode, but very cool and very interested. And the basic thing is like all dwarves have beards, they all wear armor, they all battle and mine and stuff, and they all kind of just use he, him pronouns. Yeah. And then for dwarves, you court and you get married and you find out if reproduction is an option after the fact.
Yeah.
But then you have certain dwarves who come to dwarf women who decide that actually I want to express my femininity. Yeah. And that becoming like a whole like thing. And listen. So Terry Pratchett knew what you could do in fantasy comedy and did it spectacularly. Yes. So, so that for here, it's like not an indication of like we aren't supposed to assume like, wow, women all need to be. Although the way Eragon keeps treating Arya is a symptom of this. So, but yeah, for Angela, always coming up at the best moment. Angela always making an entrance.
Right. Yep, absolutely.
Knows when to reveal herself on the battlefield.
Yes, I love her so and I love her outfit, a red cape over black and
fan
green.
Art of this.
Yes.
I want to see
that
what
would be
this
so good. I want to
looks
look it up.
like.
Yes.
I'm sure.
That'd be great.
But then we get to the point where it's like, that's when Eragon's starting to realize like, oh no, like this is going badly.
Yeah, they kind of go, I like, every now and then they get up into the air and it's, what I like about is Eragon realizes like this gives him a very unique, just like vantage point, yes, about how the battle is going. And at this point they get into the air. And he scanned Farthen Dur's plains and saw to his dismay that all three battles were going badly. And it's like, oh, there was just too many. There's simply too many.
Yeah. Yep. And I love this thing. Eragon has this thought. I don't love it as in this is the thing he should do, but it's a very Eragon thing. Yes. Eragon wondered how many Urgals he could kill at once with magic. He knew his limits fairly well. If he were to kill enough to make a difference, it would probably be suicide. That might be what it took to win. And it's like, do not do that. Yeah. Because, if you win this battle and you die, Eragon, the war is lost. Yeah, like, exactly. That is the moment you need to, what Aja had said, like, don't do that. And maybe you'll win, but if we lose Eragon and Saphira, like, it doesn't matter if they win this day. Yep. Like, that's not going to be enough. They don't have the other eggs. Like, there's no other hope. Yep. But I like here, they start talking about, like, at this point,
The fighting continued for one endless hour after another, so many hours long, and then everyone's just starting to get exhausted. But the Urgals remain fresh with reinforcements because they keep coming out of the tunnels, coming out of the tunnels, and that is when the twins contact Eragon.
Yep.
There are loud noises under Trondheim. It sounds like Urgals are trying to dig into the city. We need you and Arya to collapse any tunnels they're excavating.
So he and Saphira, he and Saphira go, they grab Arya.
I do like that where he says, "Get on," and she just, "Yep, I'm there."
I like that. She's like,
yes.
Nope, no questions.
No hesitation. Yep.
And so as Saphira crouched to take off, an Urgal ran at her, howling, and then lifted an axe and smashed it into her chest. And she's still able to fly. She goes up, and Eragon's like really worried about her. She's like, "I'll live, but the front of my armor has been crushed together. It hurts my chest, and I'm having trouble moving." So they get her to the dragon hold, but she can't move really well. She can't breathe really well. So Arya's like, "I will stay and get the armor off of her, and then I will join you."
Yep, because they say 4 of the metal plates on Saphira's chest had been hammered together, restricting her ability to bend and breathe, which is not great.
Not great. It is very interesting that Arya stays and not Eragon.
Yeah.
Like, I know why it is. It's for the next scene. But I feel
that's a good
like
point. I never thought about that.
Eragon should have stayed with Saphira, and Arya could have gone on ahead. Because they're going to try to collapse the tunnels.
Yes.
Arya is just as capable of doing that as Eragon. And honestly, in terms of who has the most magical energy still, it's going to be Arya.
Yeah, she's going to be faster at it.
Yeah, and so it's like, yes, Eragon did it the last chapter and was very good at that, but like he is so exhausted right now, and Arya is probably also tired, but like older and having more magical energy. Like it should have been Arya who ran on ahead.
That's a really interesting point. I'm actually like thinking about it more. I don't think it's very out of character to allow Eragon to run into someplace with possible danger because she's like, I have to protect you.
Yeah.
I think it would have made a lot more, especially because we know, because like we didn't talk about this again like 2 episodes ago, but the Eragon realizes for the first time when they're talking about Saphira's egg that he realizes the amount of energy Arya
to send
did
that
to
so
send it,
far.
and he goes, it was suicide, and it's like, yes, that was her intent. She didn't care if she lived or died. Arya didn't care if she lived or died at that point because she needed to get the egg to safety. Like that was where her head was at.
Yep.
And so it's really interesting and almost out of character for her to allow, for like that is her personality, to allow Eragon to run into a place where Urgals are trying to excavate out of, and so there's gonna be dangers. Urgals are gonna come in, and Arya's just like, yeah, go ahead and take care of it.
Yeah, it's also out of character for Eragon to leave Saphira in this moment when she's like
in danger and hurting.
Especially because it's like Arya's not the one that put the armor on Saphira. Yeah. Eragon was there. It's not like Arya needs to do it because Eragon's like, I actually don't know how these straps work. Like the only reason it's Eragon is so he can have the cool fight with the Shade. Like that's why it really logically should have been Arya.
I didn't even think about that. That's really interesting.
But
because I think arguments could be had that Arya is stronger than Eragon, and so she has the power to pull the armor off of Saphira if it's been like hammered together and bent in like that.
Yeah, but there's no reason because they're about to land. They're getting to the dragon hold, and she
offers.
Yeah, he explains Saphira's condition to Arya. I'll stay and help Saphira when we land. Once she's free of the armor, I will join you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason given why Arya is the one to stay with Saphira and not Eragon.
Yep. It's really interesting. I didn't think about that until you just pointed it out. For plot. It's for this next. So he gets there. It's a cool scene.
It's a cool scene.
It's a very cool scene.
He slides all the way down to get, because they're at the
10
top.
10 minutes. It takes him 10 minutes to slide down.
That would suck.
And that's why and I do like that he's like super dizzy. And I'm like, yeah, I would be, if I was spinning in circles for 10 minutes, I would be too.
Yeah. He gets to the bottom and he's underneath in this great chamber where the star sapphire is above him. I love the rosy light filter down from the Isidar Mithrim.
Yep.
And he's like, the twins aren't anywhere. He even casts his mind out for them.
And then that's also Oh, I'm so
No,
sorry.
go
I'm
on.
interrupting. When they land in the dragon hold, they're not there, and they're supposed to be there.
Yeah,
and
they're supposed to watch from the dragon hold.
Yes, and then he gets down, and they're not there. And then, like what you were saying with the casting mind.
Yeah, he even and they're supposed to be in contact with him. So it's really strange that because maybe it's like something happened to the twins.
Yeah,
because he can't even feel them, and they've been in open contact with each other for hours.
Yes,
so it's very strange.
And that's honestly, I think, like when I read this for the first time, I was very much like, "Oh shit, what happened to the twins?" Like, that's that's not great. Like, oh no,
that's really weird.
Yeah,
and then he froze as a loud knocking echoed through Trondheim. An explosion split the air. A long slab of the chamber floor buckled and blew 30 feet up. So the Urgals are here. They scramble out.
The Urgals are here.
And he's like, oh shit, should I flee? Should I try to close the tunnel? Like, what do I do?
Yeah, and I like how he's going through like different situations because he's like, even if he managed to seal it before the Urgals attacked him, what if Trondheim was already breached somewhere? He could not find all the places to prevent the city mountain from being captured. And I like this, like, if I run to one of Trondheim's gates and blast it open, the Varden could retake Trondheim without having to siege it. And so I like that he's like in like tactic mode.
Yeah,
he's like
what's the best thing? He's not just throwing himself. He's not just attacking.
Absolutely.
He's thinking. It's a lot of growth. Eragon's always been clever, but we've seen moments where things are intense, where he just acts.
Yes.
And now he has trained himself not to just act, but to think in the moments he has.
Absolutely.
But anyway, Durza shows up. So like,
Durza shows up.
That really makes the decision of what we're going to do here.
Yeah, I like a tall man garbed entirely in black armor emerged from the tunnel and looked directly at him. It was Durza.
Love the madness burned in his maroon eyes. The madness of one who enjoys power and finds himself in the position to use it.
That's just scary shit right there.
So Durza wants to fight Eragon. So he actually casts, sends the Urgals out to block the perimeter of the room.
And I do like Eragon. Eragon's first reaction is to run, but Eragon knew he was neither fast enough nor strong enough to escape the fiend before him. Yep. So he knew he's like, I can't run. He wants to, but he can't. And his second good choice was he immediately warned Saphira. Yeah. So it was like, yep, good. Tell the dragon. So, my young rider, we meet again. You were foolish to escape me in Gilead. It will only make things worse for you in the end.
You'll never capture me alive.
Is that so? I don't see your friend Murtagh around to help you. You can't stop me now. No one can.
I love that. Fear touched Eragon. How does he know about Murtagh? Putting all the derision he could into his voice, he jeered. How did you like being shot?
I will be repaid in blood for that. Now tell me where your dragon is hiding.
Never.
Then I will force it from you. And then they begin to attack.
And then Duel of the Fates starts to play.
Yeah, Duel of Fates starts to play. That's a good one.
It's also the one thing Eragon remembers is how to fight an opponent who uses magic. Yes. And he's like, this is probably
this isn't great. Yeah.
He's not just attacking Eragon with physically, he's also attacking
going to attack him mentally. Because the moment Eragon caught the blade on his shield, a mental probe spiked deep into his thoughts. So now he has to multitask. Yep. Which is not great.
Yeah. He hasn't had to practice that a lot.
Yes, not at all.
He's practiced a lot of having to keep people out mentally.
Yep.
And then he's had to practice, fighting, but he's never had to do both at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's damn, that would be really good to have trained for that.
Yep.
Wow.
It's one of those things that just slipped through the cracks.
But there was a lot to do. It's a pretty advanced thing. You need to be good at both before you can do them both together.
Yes, that's true.
And I don't think Brom knew they had a shade to worry about. When did we know about when did Eragon find out about the shade?
He found out about the shade when he went to Gilead, so that was after Brom died. So because they were just worried about the Razak.
Yeah, they didn't know there was also a shade to deal with.
Yes. Eragon, they end up, sweet Eragon, tosses his shield. He rolled over and hurled his shield at Durza. Despite the shade's superior speed, the heavy shield clipped him on the hip.
Ooh, that hurt bad.
As Durza stumbled, Eragon caught him on the upper arm with Zarok. A line of blood traced down the shade's arm. Eragon thrust at the shade with his mind and dove through Durza's weakened defenses. A flood of images suddenly engulfed him, rushing through his consciousness. That's when we get Durza's backstory, which is quite sad, honestly.
Quite sad, but simultaneously, I don't care.
It's very much...
We're in the second to last chapter.
Yeah, it's very, I feel like for me it was very much like really interesting and like, oh, like that's rough, but it never like would have touched me deeper had I learned it sooner or anything like that.
Or if I cared about Durza as a villain.
Yes.
Right? Like we get him in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then we don't see him for a really long time.
He is like this like.
Then we get him in Gilead. And then here again. And so we know he's big. He's a bad guy.
Yeah, he's like a very looming bad guy that like we don't really interact with very much.
Yeah, it's not enough for me to have. This feels like Paolini had this backstory, knew this character's backstory, and wanted to make sure the audience knew it. But we don't need to know this.
Yeah.
Like.
I think because I can't remember if it's brought up again with later on, but it does kind of.
That's why I'm trying to figure out. Like, are we going to get this payoff later? Because I don't need to know this.
We also get I can't remember if we're told how shades are created. I think we are.
Yes, I think someone talks about how shades are sorcerers who let spirits possess them. And the only spirits they're going to do that are evil spirits.
And I think, but in this situation, we learned that not Durza, but Karasabe, I think is his name.
Yeah,
is a victim. More or less.
Well, because it's like he finds out it was a young boy. His parents were on the nomad tribe. The tribe kicked him out because of something his father did.
Yes. Then
his parents were both killed, probably by marauders.
Yep.
The boy was recovered by an older man who just happened to find him.
Yep.
Brought him. They traveled together. The older man got sick after a failed spell, but he recovered. And then when the bandits attacked in the night, they killed him. And then the rage Karasab felt and the spirits he had summoned for vengeance. But the spirits were stronger than he expected. They turned on him, possessing his mind and body. He had screamed. He was, I am Durza!
Yep. And so it's like...
And that's all great and well and good.
Yeah.
But like, what do we gain as the readers learning this in this moment?
Just a really cool backstory.
Just a cool backstory that Paolini wanted to make sure we knew, but we didn't.
Yeah. I think, you know what I think the angle was? It was, I'm wondering now that I'm thinking about this. I am wondering if okay, two things.
Yes.
One, I think that it frees, I can't remember how you say his name. Karasabe? I don't remember how to say his name. But it frees the person he was from this. It frees him. So he's like free in a way, like frees his body so he's no longer like possessed by these spirits.
Okay.
And two, I think it is a precursor of what happens to Durza after Eragon stabs him, about like why his body goes through that, and the three spirits that flee. I think it's to that's
all well and good.
Yeah.
But we already know that the shade is being possessed by spirits.
Yeah.
We've already been told that this shade, we know that. So I'm not saying this is, no, I am saying this is a bad thing to happen. Like, that is absolutely what I'm saying. I'm saying it's interesting, but adds nothing, because I don't think this villain had enough of a presence for us to be interested in knowing where he came from.
It's true.
Beyond just, what does it mean to be a shade? A shade is a sorcerer who's being possessed by the spirits they summoned.
Yeah.
That's where his powers comes from. We know he's evil. He's done evil things. Like, I don't think this character was, like, flip side, if we got the twins' backstory right here, I actually think I would be way more into that.
Yeah, if I got the twins,
Because they have become way more of a presence and a way more of a character. Like, we don't like them to a point where I learn anything about them. That is satisfying. I have invested in it.
Yeah.
The Shade is this abstract villain that I really, like, yes, he did terrible things to Arya, but, like, he's just a bad guy. Like, the Urgals are just the bad guys. Like, I don't have any interest in learning this. And the fact that it's happening so late in the game is specifically what makes it feel like we really just wanted to slide in this interesting, tragic backstory. TM.
I also think like, kind of, because we're focusing on the Shade and like his backstory and stuff like this, but we're also getting how, like, discombobulating it is for Eragon. to have all these memories. So I think this is the first time Eragon has broken through someone's defenses. It's the first time this is happening to him. So I'm wondering if it's also showing like all these images are being forced into his mind and how Eragon is reeling from this and he doesn't know how to come back from it because
that's interesting
because he's trying to like Eragon tried to control the torrent of memories but the force of them was overwhelming and Eragon is watching both these images happening and also Durza coming at him and Eragon can do nothing because these images he can't control this thing that he has done to the point where he cannot defend himself.
And that's really interesting. And I think that would have been more of a payoff if we had ever been warned of that as a risk for doing this thing.
That's true. We've
been told you can get into someone's mind and like rifle through their memories.
And like control them in a way. Like I'm pretty sure Braum said something about that. Yeah. About getting control over somebody else's mind to know what their next steps are going to be or something.
And so and Eragon doesn't do that here at all. He doesn't control the torrent of memories. And it's also like because he's not even trying to do this like the twins did.
Yeah.
And
he has no control over it.
And I think, and the other thing I think is that it is because it is giving us the Shade's backstory. And I think if it was more just like flashes of weird memory, like a flash of this childhood, and then the Shade working for Galbatorix and dealing with the Urgals, and if it was less coherent, I think it would be the more impactful of like that. What you're saying of it like being this thing where Eragon is like not able to control it, like that I think would have worked better for me if that was the intent. If it wasn't just this, like we literally do get his full backstory in this thing.
It's
totally
it's very convenient.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than it being like if it was just kind of flashes and don't even get like no names. Like we don't know this. We just see these images, but they're just sparks and Eragon can't make heads or tails of them and they're intercut and they're out of order.
Yeah.
Because it's weird. It's like, is this Shade thinking about his childhood right now? Like, why are we getting this?
Yeah.
So, because Eragon's not after that. So I think either it needed to be more broken and more crazy in this like chaotic. It needed to be more chaotic, or we needed a warning of if you break into someone's mind, you need to be prepared to navigate what's in there or it could overwhelm you.
Yeah. Yep. And it's also like Durza fucking hates him for doing this.
Oh, for sure,
He's like livid. And that's
like, he was already gonna kill him.
I mean, yeah.
Like that wasn't new.
That wasn't new.
Like this didn't change Durza's like response to Eragon in any way.
Very fair.
It's not like forgive me in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, where Harry suddenly gets Snape's memory.
Oh yeah,
and he's pissed. about that,
and that is very chaotic.
That's very chaotic, and also has very specific.
They're doing the thing, and Harry casts a shield spell, and it rebounds to Snape, and so his mind is filled. His mind is filled with Snape's memories, and they're very like little boy cowering, and his parents are arguing,
of the worst
and
memory.
It's like it like popped, and it's just like
that one's in an order too.
Yeah,
but that one
it's more chaotic. It's like more, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, it's more chaotic. We don't know what he's feeling.
Storytelling.
It's just but it is also like that changes because Snape gets so angry he stops teaching Harry.
Yeah.
Like that is specifically what that sequence does, which again, fuck J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
Let's be super, super clear about that. But just to compare to another moment of similarity, that does impact and change narratively. Whereas the Shade was going to beat Eragon no matter what.
Yeah.
Like he's coming in fresh. Eragon's exhausted. Like this... I would argue it's just because Paolini had this backstory for this character that he wanted us to know.
To share.
And I am not into kill your darlings. I don't believe that that's actually good writing advice.
Yeah.
I think you have to be willing to cut things that don't serve your story. No matter how much you love them. If it doesn't serve the story, you have to let it go and be practical. And I think this could have been reconstructed to be able to deliver this while simultaneously serve the story, and I do not feel like it serves the story.
Yeah, because I also think it does play, because like kind of it does play into the next chapter.
Yes.
And like how this experience influenced Eragon. But it's also, there is a disconnect, whereas we're getting Durza's backstory, and in the next chapter,
it's the Shade.
It's the
spirits.
It's the evil spirits and the all the evil that they have done that is influencing
Yeah.
Eragon. So I think like I'm with you in the way that if we had more like maybe just like 2 flashes of childhood and then the rest of evil shade and like that just knocking the wind out of Eragon, I think that would have been
because it's
a little more
exactly
understanding.
yeah. And I think it is just it's knowing that this was a young boy who was enraged and left alone and just reached out forever power to try to like protect himself and then get vengeance on those who had harmed his father figure.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like look at the parallels to Eragon. It's like
Yes.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But that's all fine because Eragon's about to lose.
Yeah, the sword smote heavily across Eragon's back.
Oh yeah.
Cutting through both the mail and skin. He screamed as pain blasted through him, forcing him to his knees. Agony bowed his body in half and obliterated all thought. He swayed, barely conscious, hot blood running down the small of his back. Durza said something he could not hear.
I love this.
Then...
I love this next paragraph too, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
In anguish, Eragon raised his eyes to the heavens, tears streaming down his cheeks. Everything had failed. The Varden and the dwarves were destroyed. He was defeated. Saphira would give herself up for his sake. She had done it before. And Arya would be recaptured or killed. Why had it ended like this? What justice could this be? All was for nothing. And then
he sees a flash of light erupted in his eyes. And then he watches as the star sapphire, the crown jewel of the dwarves, shatters. Yep.
An expanding torus of huge dagger-like pieces plummeted towards the distant floor.
And
the
that's
shimmering
not
stars.
great.
No, that's probably not great, but we'll put a pin in that and circle back. In the center of the chamber, hurtling downwards headfirst, was Saphira. Her jaws were open, and from between them erupted a great tongue of flame, bright yellow and tinged with blue.
Fuck yes.
On her back was Arya, hair billowing wildly, arm uplifted, palm glowing with a nimbus of green magic.
Now, I want to see that in art style.
I have it.
Oh,
Lucy,
yes.
We
gotta post this
recently happened to come upon this really great piece of fan art that was of that specifically, and I saved it so I could show it to you.
Yes, please.
And make sure to share it to our Instagram
for
others to see it. It is by Jeff Brown Graphics is the Instagram user, and this is apparently it's a special edition for it's literally for a special edition of like the UK book. It's a wraparound art for a special edition of Eragon done by the Broken Binding publisher.
Ooh.
So this is like going to be the cover, I think, the wraparound cover.
Ooh.
So it's very, very cool.
I need to see that. Look how fucking
cool.
I
was like so jazzed and it came up right when we were about to do this episode.
Eragon's just not on his knees.
He's not on his knees.
That's fine.
Yep.
But look that's so good though.
Yeah. If it's going to be for the cover, Eragon has to look a little more heroic.
He's got to look a little more heroic. Yep. But, no, that looks great.
It's so good. And there's this, like, you get this great close-up. Did you swipe to see the...
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah. There's a couple close-ups.
Arya.
Mm-hmm.
That's so good. You can see the slash on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Durza looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. Again, we're going to drop this on the Instagram, and then, dear listener, if you're like, I'm listening to this way later, again, you can probably just scroll through, what was it? It was Jeff Brown Graphics?
Jeff Brown _graphic.
Yeah, go check it out. I'm sure that'll be something.
Graphics.
You can find on this.
That's so good.
So, yes, it's very cool.
I love that so much.
And I love how, Durza is looking up. He's about to attack Saphira.
Yep.
And that's when, like, a hidden reserve of strength suddenly welled up inside Eragon, dredging from the deepest part of his being.
Yep.
His fingers curled around the hilt of his sword. He plunged through the barrier in his mind and took hold of the magic.
I love this.
All of his pain and rage focused on one word. Brissinger! Zarok blazed with a bloody light, heatless flames running along it. He lunged forward and stabbed Durza in the heart.
Fuck yeah!
So good!
And I do like how it's not instantaneous. Stabs in the heart and it poof. No, and I like how, I'll just read this. It's so good. Durza looked down with shock at the blade protruding from his breast. His mouth was open, but instead of words, an unearthly howl burst from him. His sword dropped from nerveless fingers. He grasped Zarok as if to pull it out, but it was lodged firmly in him. And I like, because he goes to, like, try to pull it out, and he fucking can't.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'm like, well, he feels pain.
Yeah.
He does feel pain. But it's like, oof. But then, then Durza's skin turns transparent. Under it was neither flesh nor bone, but swirling patterns of darkness. He shrieked even louder as the darkness pulsated, splitting his skin. With one last cry, Durza was rent from head to toe, releasing the darkness, which separated into 3 entities who flew through Trondheim's walls and out of Farthen Dur. The shade was gone. And then Eragon is watching Arya and Saphira fall, and then everything freezes, and then he passes out.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair, man.
Yep.
Crazy. Oh, okay.
And then the last chapter.
And then the last chapter.
Which is fairly short, but oofa doofa.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
The Mourning Sage. In the aftermath of the battle, Eragon fights for his life, his physical injuries, and the magical cost of destroying the shade taking a toll. But a presence reaches out, helping Eragon push through the pain and come back to himself. The unknown being introduces himself as the Mourning Sage and encourages Eragon to come to Duwelden Varden, where they will be able to aid Eragon further. Eragon regains consciousness and finds Angela has been tending his injuries. Arya, Murtagh, and Saphira, mostly, arrive, telling Eragon of how the Urgals had been fighting amongst themselves after the Shade died and were quickly driven back. Despite Angela's skill, Eragon bears a scar across his back. Though Eragon looks to the future, ready to find the Mourning Sage.
Ooh.
What? So this next part, I think, Luce, is what you were referring to when it's the snatches of the Shade's memories, the whirlwind of darkness, like violent, cruel things.
It just, like, fucks him up. I think it fucks his spirit up, emotionally, because he's surrounded by evil bodies. Like, he's seeing the hundreds and thousands of people that Durza has killed either with his own hand or by, like, cause of.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like, ordering their deaths. If only he could remember what he was supposed to be. Boy or man, villain or hero, shade or rider. All was jumbled up together in a meaningless frenzy. He was lost completely and utterly in the rolling mass.
Yep.
And I love this, like, the cluster that he finds solace in, like, all the events since he had found Saphira's egg came to him in the cold light of revelation. All of his accomplishments and his failures were displayed equally. I think I like that. But it, like, starts to, like, even as he's, like, gaining that self-confidence, the, like, the remnants of the Shade, like, presses down on him and it's trying to destroy him. And there was this thing we got where it's like only one person has ever survived killing a Shade. That's not, and we talked about this way back then, it's not to say that no one else has ever killed a Shade, but we see now, like, it's not just surviving the fight. Like, there is a cost.
Oh, absolutely.
That I think is very cool.
Yeah.
Like, I think this makes a lot of sense. And I think, right, like, but the mind and the flashing through, and it's like, it's the Shade, but what it is, the spirits all fled. None of them seem to, like, attack Eragon, though.
Yeah.
So it's a little unclear as to why this is happening, if it's from being meddled in the memory, but that's over now. But as you said, the memories were only about his childhood. We didn't get flashes of the rest of it. And it seems
interesting.
I think I see what we're going for here, but I don't necessarily know if it was set up and executed as strong as it could have been.
Mm-hmm. But then what I like is that as he like you said, he begins to slowly, like, draw his shattered consciousness into a small bright shell around his core. Outside his mind, he was aware of a pain so great it threatened to blot out his very life, but something or someone seemed to keep it at bay.
Mm-hmm.
And that is when we get this voice.
Yep.
That says, "Come to me."
And he compares it, this was who was blocking the pain, he realized. Like Arya's mind, music ran through this one, deep amber gold chords that throbbed with magisterial melancholy.
Yep. And
so
it kind of touches
like,
on the
like
mornings.
Arya, do elf maybe?
Yeah,
they do
elf
tell
possibly.
him he needs to come to Duwelden Varden, or no, go to her to Elismera.
Yeah.
Is what they actually say.
Yeah.
But they introduce themselves as the Mourning Sage.
Yes.
Well, they introduce themselves as the
Ostheto. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm
So
so sorry, y'all.
It's fine. They introduce themselves in the ancient language and translate that to be the Mourning Sage.
Yes.
They also introduce themselves with a second name, which we're going to acknowledge is using a term to describe a physical disability, which is not a word that we will be using on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because it is largely considered to be a slur by the disabled community, and out of an abundance of respect, we will not be repeating that.
Yeah. So
we will be referring to this character as the Mourning Sage and whatever other title we may learn later going forward.
Yes.
So we're not going to spend too much time about that. We are not individuals to have a conversation about those kind of word usage and what is and isn't okay to be used for or by the disabled community. So we're going to go based off of the information that has been shared to us.
Yeah.
And again, out of an abundance of respects.
Yes.
The Mourning Sage.
Absolutely. But he goes on to say, like, come to me, Eragon, for I have answers to all you ask. You will not be safe until you find me. Which I find very alarming. Like, Eragon is still in super duper danger.
Yeah.
So.
And I think looking through, there is no gender indicators.
Yeah.
For this. It's
for this person, yeah.
It is just the voice, the stranger, the presence, yeah. Yep. Remember, he also says, don't tell anybody.
Yeah, don't tell anybody that we spoke. Yeah. And I do like he gets an image of this person. A vision passed from him to Eragon. Oh, we get him. A vision passed from him to Eragon.
Okay,
yeah. A burst of color blossomed in his mind. That's Eragon's mind. Yep. Resolving into a stooped figure dressed in white, standing on a sun-drenched stone cliff. It is time for you to rest, Eragon. When you wake, do not speak of me to anyone, said the figure kindly, face obscured by a silver nimbus. Remember, you must go to the elves. Now sleep. He raised a hand as if in benediction, and peace crept through Eragon. His last thought was that Braum would have been proud of him, which makes my heart hurt. It makes my heart hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And I do like how this voice, we don't really know what's going on, but the voice does soothe Eragon, because Eragon's very lost in this, and he tells Eragon, doesn't he? I think he tells him that he did a good thing.
You are greater than you know, Eragon. Think of what you have done and rejoice, for you have rid the land of a great evil. You have wrought a deed no one else could do. Many are in your debt.
Yeah, and I think that helps.
Yes.
Especially, like, near the end of the book, that especially helps.
Yes.
But I think in this moment where he's lost and broken and he's scared, and also this voice says, like, I'm keeping you from going insane.
Yeah. Like, I've kept off the pain.
The pain. And so I think, like, that really helps him. Mm-hmm. And then Angela wakes him up.
Yeah. Awake, Eragon, for you have slept too long. And he doesn't quite wake up. Rise, Archelahem, you are needed.
Yeah. Angela's...
How do you feel?
Yeah, how do you feel? Mm-hmm. And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, don't move. Yeah. Conserve your strength. Mm-hmm. And she kind of tends to him. She's
trying to piece back the memories.
Yeah.
And then it's Saphira.
What about Saphira? Is she all right? The Urgals were winning. She was falling. And Arya. They lived, assured Angela, and have been waiting for you to wake. Do you wish to see them? Mm-hmm. He nods, and then I love Arya, Murtagh, and Saphira come in. Yeah. Saphira puts her head in because she can't fit.
She snakes her head into the room as far as she can reach because her body's too big. Her chest vibrated as she hummed deeply, eyes sparkling. It's good to see you well, little one.
You too, but how? And she's like, the others want to explain, so I will let them.
You breathed fire. I saw you.
And she's like, yes, I did.
I did. You needed
Excellent.
We find out basically he's been sleeping. They've been waiting for hours. He's been sleeping for what, like half a day, a day and a half?
A day and a half. Which I'm like, okay, that's not too bad.
Basically, so Murtagh reports that they won. As soon as the shade died and the spirits, if that's what they were, flew across Farthen Dur, the Urgals ceased fighting to watch them go. It was as if they were released from a spell then, because their clan suddenly turned and attacked each other. Their entire army disintegrated within minutes. We routed them after that.
And then we find out that not all of them died. They did, some of them, many of them escaped into the tunnels, but they're ferreting them out. And we find out that Murtagh was helping. And
then he got banged on the head.
Yeah, and it's
and to the infirmary.
Yeah, and I do like how Eragon's like, aren't they going to lock you up again? And I like how Murtagh's like, no one really cares about that right now. A lot of Varden and dwarves were killed, and the survivors are busy trying to recover from the battle, but at least you have cause to be happy. You're a hero. Everyone's talking about how you killed Durza. If it hadn't been for you, we would have lost. Mm-hmm. And I like that like Murtagh takes it. He's like, it sucks. Like, I'm the least of everyone's worry because there's so much loss right now.
Yeah.
So that's why he's going around unchecked. But also, like, we did win because of you.
Yeah. And then Eragon asks, where were the twins? They weren't there when they were supposed to be. I couldn't contact them. I needed their help.
Murtagh shrugged. I was told they bravely fought off a group of Urgals that broke into Trondheim somewhere else. They were probably too busy to talk to you. And then is a very interesting.
That seemed wrong for some reason, but Eragon could not decide why. It's
and
like, just that sus thing again, really not shaking off those sus allegations, huh?
And it's like, how did that seem wrong? That, because it's like, it would make sense, because we talked about this, where it would make sense that if Eragon comes back and the twins are gone, but like the last thing they told Eragon was like, hey, Urgals are breaking into Trondheim. We need you to collapse tunnels. It would make sense if the twins ran off to collapse other tunnels that may have been popping up. So when Eragon showed up, they weren't there. That makes sense. So why does Eragon specifically say that was wrong? That seemed wrong.
He just disagrees with it. Yeah. It's also like, one of them was supposed to, it's odd.
It's really odd. It's a really odd way to say that.
It's an odd way, just to, like what we've been talking about, are we supposed to be suspicious of the twins?
Yes.
And the answer is very clearly at this point, yes.
Yes.
But Paulini doesn't seem willing to commit to making that more apparent, other than just like, yes, they've done all these weird things, and yeah, it's obviously weird, but like everyone trusts them, especially if Eragon being like, hey, they told me to come and then they weren't there and I couldn't get a hold of them. Oh, they were busy fighting, and everyone just like buys that. It's like Eragon's like, hey, they're kind of weird and they definitely tried to kill me with this magic test, but we still trusted them to do the magic test. Like that like weird disconnect of like the things they are doing versus everyone else just being like willing to do this, even though, as we talked about during Arya's test, how like Frederick was like, no man, we cannot let them just do this. Like it's weird. I think it's much like Eragon having that feeling of foreboding when Murtagh talked about Naswada. I think that's another thing of this, trying to give us foreshadowing for later book. That just isn't as well executed as it should be.
Yes, I agree.
I think I could have said that, and Eragon just turns and starts to talk to Arya, and like I think sometimes I'm like he doesn't reflect on that, but it's the way he reflects on this is weird. Yeah,
the way the fact that he says that seemed wrong.
Yeah,
and it was like just the interesting word choice.
And so then we find out Eragon's like, hey, what happened?
Like, why didn't you crash? Why aren't we all dead because of the gems and stuff?
Yeah. So I love when she's like, okay, so basically, she knew they weren't going to have enough time to get down there. When she got Saphira free. So she's like, I did the one thing I could do. Also, she knew that Durza was going to kill Eragon before Arya would even have a chance to rescue him if she showed up. So she broke the Star Sapphire to distract him.
Yep.
And I carried her down, added Saphira. And then we find out that the pieces didn't crash because Arya used magic to lower them slowly.
Yes, because...
which is very cool.
Yeah. Then slowly lowered them to the floor. Else they would have shattered into 1,000 pieces and killed you.
Angela added sourly, yes, and it almost killed you as well. It's taken all of my skill to keep the two of you alive.
Which I love. Angela's like,
I'm very put out.
Like, both of you are going to kill me. I swear to God.
Not Murtagh. Eragon is like reaching back to be like, what actually happened? And Angela like stops him and says, Eragon, you have to understand, my power is not like yours or Arya's. It depends on the use of herbs and potions. There are limits to what I can do, especially with such a large, and he pulls himself away and he feels that there is a big scar all across his back from where Durza cut him.
It's from his, it's a half-inch wide. He followed it down his back with growing horror. Durza's blow had left him with a huge ropey scar stretching from his right shoulder to the opposite hip.
Yep.
Which we can very clearly see the slash in that picture.
The picture, yep. And Arya says, you've paid a terrible price for your deed, Eragon Shade Slayer. But Murtagh laughs harshly. Yes, now you're just like me.
And it's like, ooh.
Oof.
Ooh.
Oof. And it's really interesting here because dismay filled Eragon and he closed his eyes. He was disfigured. And that being the thing Eragon is upset about, like being scarred, describing it as a disfigurement, that is a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, when I was 13 years old, I went down a very steep hill on a razor scooter and beefed it.
Yeah.
And had like hurt my like knee, my hip, my wrist, like hurt it. I like was super like flesh wounds.
Yeah.
Like I was scratched up real bad.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go to the ER or anything like that. And like my bones and tendons were all fine. But
yeah.
got back home, my mom's, patching me up. She's like, oh, honey, I think these are going to scar. And the idea of having scars, like I remember being so upset about that fact.
Yep.
So like, I'm not saying it's unrealistic, but like, so I'm like, I have literally not experienced it quite the same way Eragon is experiencing it, but like that feeling of, oh no, this lasting damage won't just go away.
Yeah.
But including that in the narrative, describing it as a disfigurement, especially when it's like, it's on your back, my man. Like, and at this point, it doesn't seem like it's just the physical scar, and there doesn't seem to be any indication of like
it's just,
lasting like injury or any sort of like physical disability that Eragon might now have, because he got slashed up the spine.
Yeah. It also, it kind of like, how does he view Murtagh if Murtagh is...
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, do you see Murtagh as being disfigured?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, yes.
The word used disfigured is just, it just seems like an insult.
Yes.
And
especially because
especially
because pity showed on Arya's face.
Yeah.
And
I almost think that it's supposed to be, just because I read this next line and I'm like, I wonder if it's supposed to be a hand in hand, like Eragon feels as if he's been disfigured.
Yeah.
And then the person who introduced himself as that term is also like, I wonder if there's like supposed to be a connection between like the disfigured meant person who was whole and now he is disfigured. And so I'm wondering if there's supposed to be like, that's Eragon. But
like disfigurement is very different than physical disability. Like I specified, like with like the scars I have, they are like, they're flesh wounds. I have scars on my wrist, on my hip, whatever, but they are not a physical disability unless I am misunderstanding. Not to speak outside of my own sphere of understanding, like, and not to say like a scar cannot be a physical disability. I think especially for someone who would have like a scar on their face, like that I could see being akin to a physical disability, because it would inhibit one's ability to function without it, right? Or that would be like, I could say, but like, it's on your back, my man. Not to say it's not a big deal, because it is, but like the way it's being framed in this one is indicating something a lot more permanent, as if a scar isn't permanent, but like a higher price than what is being indicated within these final paragraphs. That's true. And as we understand, like, it's having that scar along the back doesn't seem to like inhibit Murtagh's ability in any way.
And that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, Murtagh doesn't seem necessarily bothered by it, apart from
having it as this like lineage and what happened to him, this physical evidence of the trauma.
It's like a brand where it's like Murtagh's been branded in that way where he's recognizable by it, because what was the first thing Ajahad said? Take off your shirt and show me your back. So it's like now Eragon too is like branded by this. And that maybe that would have been a better term. I don't know.
Yeah.
A branded in comparison to disfigured.
Yes. Yes. There is something there with the language choice that I find distasteful. Yeah. And I don't know if it is communicating what is, because it is a little bit like, it's a scar. Like, that sucks. But it's also on your back, my man. Like,
I think branded would have.
Or if, like, Eragon tried to reach and realized he couldn't reach all the way.
Yeah, like, and, like he goes to feel and he twinges or something.
Yeah, and Angela had to, like, help
him.
Like, I think that would have been like, oh, there is a cost. Like, that would have been like, oh, and then Arya being like, you've paid a terrible price. Yes. Like, and now, yes, he is going to have this, like, physical disability, this challenge. It is going to make it harder for the quest he is meant to undertake and the things he's meant to do, which would tie us more to the Mourning Sage. Yeah. I think it's another way where I just feel like there are pieces of this ending that are very, very good. Yes. And then there are some elements that I don't feel were executed quite as successfully. Yeah. But as he says, reflecting on the words of the Mourning Sage, think of what you have done and rejoice. Come to me, Eragon, for I have answers to all you ask. A measure of peace and satisfaction consoled Eragon. I will come.
Yep. I also want to just like, it's kind of funny. that he's like, don't tell anybody. It's like, I'm gonna tell Saphira.
Right, like, okay, but can I tell Saphira?
Hold on.
I'm gonna tell
Wait,
Saphira,
come back. Can I tell Saphira?
But
can I tell Saphira?
That's gonna happen anyway, so I do just need you to be cool with that, because I'm not gonna keep that from Saphira.
Because I'm just gonna think it and she's gonna pick up on it. Like I
can't
know what you want from me.
Like that'd be crazy if I couldn't tell Saphira. I'm gonna tell Saphira.
Yeah.
Right?
But
like I hope I can remember. I'm gonna tell Saphira.
Yeah.
Okay, but we gotta acknowledge it's very Luke. You must go to Dagobah and find Yoda.
I kept thinking about Yoda the whole time. Yeah. I was like, it's Yoda. Look, it's Yoda.
It is very much.
I even mentioned like it's kind of like a Yoda figure, but also Obi-Wan like combined into one.
Because Braum is our Obi-Wan.
Yes.
And it's in that scene at the beginning of Empire Strikes Back when they're in the cave after they've been attacked by the snow beast, and he's hanging upside down, and that's when Luke's getting the message from Obi-Wan's spirit, being a Force ghost, telling him, Luke, you must go to Dagobah. You must find Master Yoda.
Yeah.
So, the stakes here are a bit higher. It would be like after Darth Vader. And it does end like it is giving Empire Strikes Back vibes, with the hero is injured, but not exactly. But again, there are like, this is not the only thing we could compare to Star Wars. Like, we compare it a lot to Star Wars, and we tease a lot about the elements that are similar to Star Wars. And it's there are elements of like the hero's journey, and like Joseph Campbell's like Hero with 1,000 Faces, and like we will find lots of elements that have these similar things because that is the way these stories develop and are told in Western storytelling traditions. That is not inherently bad. There are some things that are just like, yeah, we know you like Star Wars. We can tell. But good ending, very compelling.
I love the ending. It also leaves like thirsting for more.
Yeah,
it's like,
it ended. I'm like, well, that's the ending.
That's a cliffhanger, and I am here for it.
Okay. And all right.
Yep.
We've one more writing takeaway. Sometimes you do have to cut the detail you were excited to share with your readers.
Yeah.
When it doesn't serve the story, you have to cut it.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff where I'm like, I really like this scene.
It's like, and then, but I've seen someone I saw a Tumblr post forever ago that was like, when someone cuts something, they'll save it. Or like in the Good Place, on the Good Place, the podcast, the writers were on this and they were talking about how Michael Schur, when they had something they really liked that they had to cut, they would put it in what they would call the candy jar.
Okay, cool.
So they got to keep it. And so if there was ever another opportunity to use it later, like a joke or a scene or something, they could resurrect it.
Yeah.
So like, you really like it, you don't, and you have to cut it, you don't have to delete it and send it to the abyss. Like, you can store that somewhere else to be able to use later. Or like, I don't know, special novellas are super popular. You just like sell the short story on Amazon like later. Like you don't have to. You have to know. No matter how much you love a thing, if it's not serving the narrative, it has to go.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean you have to erase it forever.
Yes.
Like, don't kill your darlings.
Yeah.
Put them in a candy jar.
Put them, just snip them and then put them in a candy jar.
Put them in a candy jar. Ooh, what? Okay, dear listener, here's your last take-home assignment. Tell us what you thought about Eragon.
Yes,
Then we tricked you. We gave you many episodes just to do it as an optional assignment, and now it's your former homework.
You
have to tell us, what do you think about Eragon? What is your relationship to the book today?
Yeah.
How has it changed since you read it for the first time? If it is your first time reading it, what did you think? What do you think is going to happen next?
Yep. Super excited.
It's good. What is the book you're most excited for us to talk about going forward?
Excite.
Hit us up on Spotify, on Instagram. You can send us a DM. You can send us an email to eragonpod@gmail.com. Like, share your thoughts. We want to share them in our next episode, the episode that's going to be the formal wrap for Eragon.
Yep.
So listeners, you have lots of time because we're not going to record this episode just yet. The last proper episode, we're going to take a little bit of a break, largely because we want to give you time to respond,
listen and
do these things, and also because Lucy works in retail.
Yes, I do.
It's going to get pretty crazy. So
it's so stressful.
Final episode discussing the Eragon books, our total recap, talk about the book episode, is going to come out Wednesday, January the 8th.
Yep.
And then we will be going on a longer hiatus after that in between the 2 books.
Yes.
And we will have exact timelines and stuff hammered out at that point in time when that episode comes out. So you know when to expect us to return. We won't just leave you in the lurch.
Yes, absolutely.
But there will be a bit of a break, but we will be back.
Yes, absolutely be back. I'm so excited.
I have no interest to not talk about Eldest.
So
we
excited
leave
for Eldest.
Threads of how much we don't like the Eragon Arya arc. Just in the void. We haven't even gotten to the parts that we really dislike about that arc yet. We have to finish that conversation.
We have to finish it.
Let us know what you think about Eragon. Favorite chapters, favorite characters, predictions for the future.
Yep.
What is a writing tip that you thought of while reading that we didn't?
That we didn't. That would be super cool.
One we can share with everyone. Like I said, there's lots of ways to hit us up. We do very much want to hear from you. Help us, do this one more episode, and then we'll see what the future brings.
Absolutely.
So we will be back, like I said, January the 8th. So if you want to make sure you get your stuff in, go ahead and drop that before New Year's. Yes. Definitely.
Yes,
We'll probably be recording sometime around that.
Yeah,
so
in the first week.
So if you want to make sure we get our thoughts, that's your deadline.
Yeah.
We record after that. It is what it is.
It is what it is, yeah.
So we'll be back January 8th. Until then, she's Lucy Hart.
And she's Darien Smartt.
And this is Eragon.
And back again.